Okay, welcome back. Let's pick up where we left off yesterday. We covered our flowers with masking fluid, and now we're ready to paint the background. I'm starting with clean water. And I'm going to wet the whole paper. I am going to start with Composed Blue. I want a little bit darker color, and I'm pulling from my clean water. I want a bright blue spring sky in the background. Especially right around the flowers. Now I'm going to pick up permanent green number 2, or you could do this with some sap green. And I'm going to drop this in some areas for some diffused greens in the background. Now, we want the background to dry. See, I think I might want this a little bit brighter. Okay, this is cobalt blue hue. So I'm going to drop a little bit of it in with it and see if I can't darken this up a little bit more, like the spring sky that is so vibrant. Let's put a little bit of variety in that green. Pull up some sap green here. And just dab it in. All right, now it's time to dry. We're going to do this with a hairdryer to make it quick. Okay, the background is now completely dry, so I'm going to pull up the masking fluid with a rubber cement remover. You can also just peel this off with your fingers. I think I'm just going to peel this way. think this goes a little bit faster. Okay, there's our flowers. We can still see the lines. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. You can still see the faint lines here. However, if you can't see your lines, flip this back over. Grab your pencil and go back over your lines gently. Don't want these to be really dark. So that brings it back up to where you can see it a little bit more. But if you can see them without going back over this, that's the better option. And if you are done touching up any lines that you need to touch up in the flowers, then we can discard our reference image. And now we'll start on painting the flowers themselves. We want to start with clean water. I think I'm going to start with a size 6 brush. And I've changed my mind with the way that I was adding the water here. I've got a piece of tissue here, and I want to dry this petal off right there. I just want to keep this petal right here wet. Then I'll come to the other. I'm going to start with my lightest shade. I'm going to pull Quinacridone Magenta, and I want this to be a dilute color. Then I'm going to drop in from the bottom, and I want to encourage this to spread on the flower. I'm going to get a tool to etch with. You can use a credit card for this. You can use the back end of your brush if it comes to a point. But I use this. This is a tool for shaping clay, and it works really well. And I'm going to pull some veins in this up the flower. Then I've got Mineral Violet. I'm going to add a little bit of it at the bottom. And again, let it diffuse into the petal. Okay, make sure my brush is clean. I'm going to go into this part and just let that color pull up in there. Clean water just in this area. Got a little bit too much water there, so let's take a little bit off. Pull this and let it diffuse in. Just let that color go where it wants to go. Now we're going to do the same thing right here on this one. And here. Picking up just a smidge. Oh my goodness, I don't have this camera on. Yes, I do. Okay. Just a smidge of the quinacridone magenta. These upper areas. Pull up some more purple here for just at the base of the flower. Mineral violet is what this is. All right. We'll come back to that flower in a minute. We're going to work on the bud. Again, clean water. A little bit richer color of the quinacridone magenta. Drop in the purple. Then etch these petal veins up. Now I'm dipping this into that mineral violet, and I'm going to go around the edges of this petal. Number 2 brush. Taking a little bit of the quinacridone magenta and a little bit of the mineral violet. Going around the outer petal. With a cleaned brush, I'm going to smooth this out. little bit more of the quinacridone magenta in here. With a line of purple where those petals meet. Pick this color up again. Again, the purple and some purple around the outside edge. That's not purple, it's mineral violet, but it looks very purple. Now the inside of those petals we're leaving almost white. Okay. Now I've picked up more mineral violet and I'm going to add more here as this starts to dry. Just building up some values here. Okay, we are coming up on a stopping point. Pull these veins up a little bit again. Oh my. Oops. There. Okay. And that looks like we're going to be close for today, that we may be at a stopping point. So let's stop with this. We can pick this back up next time. If this dries, it will be fine that it can dry like it is. We can still work with it from here. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time to finish up our painting.